Thank you for taking some time this morning.
No, my pleasure. I'm glad it worked out. Got a little window here. I'm looking at some tape over at NFL Films in my office, so got a little time for you.
Hey, I got to ask this before we get into the soul stuff, which thank you for bringing them down to Atlantic City. It's so nice to have football back because there has been history of football in Boardwalk Hall before.
So I remember Mike Ciani had the arena team there many years ago, the Indoor Football League. And, of course, there was, I think you go back to the 1969, there was an indoor game there played. I believe Delaware played in that game.
Yeah, and it's there was a great, when you walk into the old offices, there used to be a huge picture of the football field. I think it was a 50-yard football field at the time, and and it was there was a helicopter inside Boardwalk Hall. Don't know how they got it in, don't know how they got it out. But once again, man, Atlantic City has taken some hits, but this area knows how to take hits and get back up and keep fighting. So for you to come down and bring the soul down here and bring arena football down here is awesome. So it's going to be a great event. We can't wait for it. It's going to be on Saturday, May 30th. So you got to get your tickets now. And look, you guys 6-0. That's not a bad record.
Well, the Soul right now are playing very good football. I don't want to say we're the best team in the Arena Football League, but right now we are playing the best, and hopefully that will continue. Not only through May 30th at Boardwalk Hall for the DraftKings Boardwalk Bowl, but also throughout the regular season, and the possibility of hosting the Arena Football League championship game in Philadelphia. But the history of this is really great because, as you know, I'm a Jersey guy. I'm a Jersey resident. I spend most of my summer down the Jersey Shore. And quite honestly, I got a little bit tired of all the hits that Atlantic City and South Jersey and the Jersey Shore was taking. And I thought this might be a good opportunity to bring an event to Atlantic City that could put a positive light on the good things happening. Because there's so many negative people. They look at the negative things in life. They look at the negative things in business. And I'm the antithesis of that. I see the glass half full rather than half empty. And I thought this would be a really good opportunity to shine that bright, positive light on Atlantic City. And I've gotten tremendous support. Don Guardian's been great. John Palmieri from the CRDA has been great. The governor's office, Senator Sweeney, you name it. Everyone has rallied around this event. So we, the Philadelphia Soul, are very excited to bring this game to Atlantic City, the Boardwalk Bowl, on May 30th.
Hey, Ron, I got to ask you this, too, because we were talking about this morning on the show. So many Philadelphia athletes, especially Eagles, don't find their way back to Philadelphia to live. But you, and me being a kid from Jersey, I grew up in Gloucester Township. So
yep.
you have a piece of my heart because not only did you come back to Philadelphia, because you finished out your career with the Chiefs, right?
That's correct.
So,
after I left Philly in 1986 was my last season, I went down to Miami for 2 years and backed up Dan Marino with the Dolphins. And in 1989, I went to Kansas City and became the starting quarterback, and Howie Long blew my knee out, and that ended my playing career. But while those last 3 years while I'm in Miami and in Kansas City, South Jersey was still my home. At that time, it was Voorhees. I now live in Medford. Now I have a place down the Jersey Shore. So, my wife and my kids have always loved this area. So even though I played the last couple of years when you're hanging on for that paycheck to be in the NFL, I still maintain my residence in southern New Jersey.
And we love you for that. And like I said, we always kind of took you in as our own when you grew up in New Jersey because, you know what? Jaworski, he's in New Jersey. He's not in Philly. He resides in Jersey. He's opening up businesses in New Jersey. And we were proud of that. And we were proud of you.
Well, I appreciate that, and I've always felt kind of the need to give back and do things within this community. I have my own foundation, which now has raised close to $5 million for at-risk youth in our community. I just think back a couple of years ago when Superstorm Sandy came through, and the Ventnor Pirates Little League team down there in Ventnor lost their field, their concession stands, their helmets, their uniforms, their cheerleader uniforms. Everything was gone. And we had an emergency fund at the Jaws Youth Playbook, which is my foundation, and we're able to give them money to rebuild the football field, get those kids new uniforms, uniforms, new helmets, the cheerleaders, new cheerleading outfits, and rebuild the concession stand. So, those are the good things that my foundation's been able to do, and we've always been supported in southern New Jersey. The events that I've brought to Atlantic City through the years, the Maxwell Football Club National Awards Gala, now televised to over 100 million homes, shines a bright light on the Tropicana Hotel and Resort Casino, the good things happening in Atlantic City, my golf tournament, which will be, again, this year, June 14th and 15th, in Atlantic City at Blue Heron Pines, is a major fundraiser for my foundation, as well as the National Football League alumni. So the events that I've had in Atlantic City have always been very well supported. So I thought bringing the Soul to Atlantic City would resonate the same way, and so far it's been outstanding.
And we can't wait for the Soul to come to Atlantic City. I got to say, too, there's been a light in the last year or two on indoor football, and that's been Vince Neil starts a team in Vegas. Kiss is out in L.A. Do you like or dislike that these guys who have no football background are coming into the business like that?
I absolutely love it. I can't tell you how cool it is. Now, unfortunately, I'm a guy that's had a pretty high profile sports-wise, but we have our board meetings now, and you're sitting there with Gene Simmons. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you carry on conversations. And actually, when I was trying to get Las Vegas to come to Atlantic City for this game, I actually flew out to Las Vegas to personally hook up with Vince Neil from Motley Crue, because I didn't want to get on a phone conversation with him. I didn't want to talk about this, not being face-to-face. So I got on the plane and met him in Atlantic City. I say, I want to have Las Vegas come to Atlantic City. I don't want to have L.A. I don't want to have Orlando. I don't want to have Tampa. I want Las Vegas. So, I want to create a war at the shore every year between Atlantic City and Las Vegas. And our game plan, as I told Vince, is to kick your ass up and down the field when you come to Atlantic City. And I want him to feel the same way if we ever have to go to Las Vegas and play there. We want to create that competition on the field between Las Vegas and Atlantic City. We know we're going to come out on top.
And when you meet Vince, he's the sweetest guy in the world.
No question about it. In fact, I can say the same thing about Gene Simmons and guys like that. Those guys, Paul Stanley from the entertainment world that love sports and love to get involved with sports have put their hard-earned dollars into buying sports teams, and that's why I believe the future of the Arena Football League is very bright. When you start seeing the production that KISS does out in Los Angeles for their team, I mean, it is absolutely wild. What the guys in Las Vegas are now doing. So the league is getting traction amongst the celebrities, and ESPN now carries every single one of the Philadelphia Soul games on one of their platforms, as well as all the games around the league. CBS Sports is now televising our games nationally, throughout the schedule. In fact, our game on May 30th at Boardwalk Hall will be televised nationally on CBS Sportsnet. So, we're getting that kind of coverage. It's going to be great when that game opens up with that beauty shot of Atlantic City when we start talking about Las Vegas and Atlantic City and that convergence, and we show the beautiful Boardwalk Hall. So these things are going to be really cool for Atlantic City, and I'm kind of looking at it this way as well. This is a little bit of a referendum on Atlantic City. Can they support a sporting event like this, high-profile national TV? So we're going to need people to support this game, and I'll tell you this from our Soul perspective, the Atlantic City perspective, we've been working diligently to pack that arena.
And we're helping you with that. And two more questions, and then I'll let you go. I know you're a busy man. Now, one is, how does it feel? You watch these guys who are trying to get into the Arena Football League, and you're like, I mean, these guys are coming out of high school, coming out of college, guys who are working, they're stocking shelves, and they're getting a chance to play. It's got to make you feel great.
It's absolutely incredible. And the poster child, really, for the Arena Football League has been future Hall of Famer Kurt Warner, who was stocking shelves at a supermarket playing for the Iowa Barnstormers. And it's amazing the number of guys that still play arena football to live the dream of getting to the National Football League. And each and every year, there'll be a player or two from the Philadelphia Soul that will go to an NFL training camp. And many of those guys make teams in the National Football League. We hold tryout camps throughout the year, like one we hold twice a year at the NovaCare Center in Philly, and we'll have 400 to 500 players show up at an open tryout camp, a la Vince Papale, and make the Philadelphia Eagles. But these are the type of guys that want to live the dream of playing professional football, and the Arena Football League gives those young men that opportunity.
It really is incredible, and I'll let you go with this question. In the episode of the Goldbergs, was that really your couch?
It was not my couch, but it was my jersey.
Look, Ron, we appreciate it. We can't wait. Saturday, May 30th. We'll see you down here in Atlantic City. It's going to be incredible, man.
Yeah, and there are going to be incredible events all day long. This is going to be, obviously the DraftKings Boardwalk Bowl, but we're going to make it a special day for everyone in Atlantic City.
You got it, Ron Jaworski. Thank you so much.
Thank you.